welcome, everyone, land of the internet, to a game called A Lich to the Past. I am your lovely DM, Pie Guy, or the Chicken Lich. Fun fact, today, a year ago today, I ran my very first game in the guild, which was Lair the Chicken Lich, and that is where I will be sending these lovely players today with a little twist. So we start the game, not in the guild, but we're using it for the background because it's a fun one. We start the game with our lovely characters doing whatever they do at the end of the day, wherever they find themselves at rest for the night, and we'll go one by one and see where that is. So, Ob, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us how you end the night and where you find yourself resting?
Sure. My name is Avunakat, or Chandler, whichever you prefer. Today I'll be playing Ob. He is a Loxodon blood hunter slash warlock. And he is not ending his day at his keep that he has the deed to, but just needs to clear the monsters out of, because he hasn't had a chance to clear the monsters out of. But he would probably be at his house with his mother.
Fantastic. And as you're at your house, you lay down for a good night's sleep, and then we move to Gale. Please introduce yourself and describe where you find yourself at rest for the night. Gale, I'll introduce you last. Okay, I didn't see that. Well then, Jacob, same question.
Jacob is just. What was the question again? Sorry.
Introduce yourself and describe to me where you find yourself resting for the night.
Hi, I'm Jacob, half-elf Sorlock, and, Jacob is just kind of hanging outside the guild, just drinking, and reading his book.
Alright, so you find yourself passing out drunk in front of the guild hall in the
Yep.
streets of Virton City as we move to Signy. Same question. Please introduce yourself and describe to everyone where you find yourself resting for the night.
Sup, I am Skyfall. My character's name is Signy. He's a druid warlock, moon druid warlock, and he'd be like in a graveyard somewhere, just meditating in a satanic circle of some choice, and then also using like a sacrifice.
So we find Signy in the graveyard of Virton City, worshipping Satan and sacrificing. Virton's known for their livestock. You're sacrificing a cow. We'll go with that. That's a normal night in the graveyard for normal graveyard goers coming to say goodbye to their dead. Duden, how you doing, buddy? Introduce yourself and tell us where you're sleeping for the night.
I'm doing good, or Duden's doing great. So he's actually staying at the guild hall. He got kicked out of his place. Got into an argument with his landlord and lost that argument badly. And he's eating his feelings, and he's got some leftover candy from a carnival, and he's a little sad boy, but he's doing all right. He's definitely waiting for an adventurous distraction.
So you find yourself asleep at the bar, is where I assume you most usually stay in the guild. You find yourself asleep at the bar with little bits of cotton candy stuck in your dwarven beard, and you've passed out. And last but not least, Gale. If you're here. Fingers crossed. Fox?
Gale would also be at
There
the
you
guild
go.
hall.
Is that all?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So you find yourself asleep at the guild hall as well, and as you guys are sleeping, whatever dreams you're having are suddenly disrupted by... Oh no, I need to change the music. I don't know why I put my old music. It's somewhere in here. Oh no. Please hold. Oh no.
It's got D&D.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, it's somewhere here. Is it this? No, it's not. Oh, it's not here. Where was it? No, I've lost my music. Everything's ruined. Am I just blind?
Can you cry again?
Dude, I'm just blind, I think.
Are you crying?
I want to feed off your tears.
Oh, it was literally right here. Haha. So you find yourselves, each and every one of you, your dreams are interrupted by a new sight. Instead of whatever nice dreams you were having, everything suddenly goes black, and you see a forest ahead of you. And you see a large, looming, dark tower directly in front of you. And as you all look around, you see 4 other adventurers waking up in this place, and you see off in the distance a tiny group, a small group of similar looking adventurers, but they look ghostly, almost incorporeal, walking towards this tower and down some sort of staircase. Would you all like to do?
Are we all right next to each other, or we're just independently seeing this?
You are all next to each other. All of your dreams were interrupted and basically merged into one, into this vision, and you find yourselves all next to each other.
The first thing Jacob does is let out a deep sigh and goes, "The Guild Master didn't tell me I had to do this."
Duden recognizes Ob, like, looks over at him, like, what's going on?
I'm not
Big
sure,
finger.
dude. But, I don't think that we're in our dreams anymore.
Well, maybe you're in my dream.
Ob would smile at you, and you'd see his eyes like flash green. This is no dream of mine, I promise you.
Duden will just look confused, like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, it could be my dream. It doesn't have to be your dream. But
He walks right up behind you, and Jacob walks up right behind you and pinches you.
yeah,
If you get a reaction.
like, what? That felt real. All right.
I don't think
And
it's a
then,
dream, buddy.
Duden will kind of like size Jacob up, like, okay, hello, can I help you?
How tall is Duden?
He's like 5'4".
Oh, Jacob's just crouched down, like, just standing there with his hand. Just crouched down, just holding his hand out, like, with, like, the pinch, and he just smiles at you and goes, "I don't think it's a dream, buddy."
Like, all right, Mr. Rude. pick out some of that cotton candy in my beard and start eating it.
It's definitely
Smell it.
real.
Sweet sugar.
Jacob pulled out his flask towards Duden.
I'll put some of the cotton candy in the flask for him. There you go.
Hell yeah, cotton candy infused vodka. Love it.
Normally you have to pay extra for that kind of action, Cotton.
So while you're all doing these shenanigans, would you all like to give me a perception check, please?
Never.
Good.
Sure.
Am I smelling for this perception check?
No.
I love how we get a natural one and then a fucking
Nat 20.
nat 20.
It's accurate for tonight.
Perception.
That's the dwarf we know.
So, Signy and Duden, or Signy, yeah, we'll just go from low to high. Signy, you're too busy being kind of confused about your surroundings. Suddenly you were dreaming of, unholy sacrifice, and now you see a dark and strange tower ahead of you. Maybe it's Satan. Duden, you're busy with your cotton candy. Ob, Jacob, and Gale, you all kind of take notice of your surroundings, and you all see it at the same time. You're in the middle of a small field surrounded by lots of trees, and then a little ways away, this dark tower ahead of you where you saw the incorporeal visions walk into. However, as you stand here and look around, you notice that all of the trees and the tower itself are almost glitching. They're all shimmering. 1 second, with a quick blink, they're gone, and then the next second they're back, and they're all just glitching in and out of space, essentially.
You said the trees and the tower?
Your entire surroundings are glitching. So the trees and the tower itself. And the tower seems to be an almost endlessly rising dark black tower. It goes past the clouds, and then you can no longer see it.
Well,
Ob would look over at Signy. Is this one of your dreams?
No, but I'd like it to be.
What was Gale saying?
Well, this doesn't seem pleasant. Is there a tree like right nearby?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of... Here, let me freehand something. So, just to kind of show you guys, so this is the circle you're in. We'll say the guild board is the tower, and then everything outside of this circle, so you guys are like here-ish, and everything outside of this circle, there are trees. So there are trees around you. You can walk a little bit to see to go next to trees. So there are trees close by.
Gil will start heading towards the tower.
Okay. How about everyone else?
Duden will follow. What time of day is it?
It is... Give me a nature check. As you look up into the skies for the first time.
Did it go? I clicked on it.
There
There
it
we
is.
go.
Oh,
Go
well, you
with
got
the
a
first one,
3.
sorry.
7 wouldn't
Right.
do much anyways. Signy, if you wish, you may, yes. If that's what you were
Okay.
going to ask.
Yes. This is just to help him.
Okay, so give me a nature.
No, never mind.
All right, so both of you guys look up to the skies, and you can't really make out the time of day because there's no sun, there's no moon. It's just an endless field of dark, stormy clouds.
May I try a nature?
You may.
I swear if I get better than you both. Well, you also both have negative ones.
11, it's the same deal. It's really hard to tell the time of day as the sky is completely, essentially overshadowed by just endless rolling clouds and fields of storm clouds, with the occasional, interestingly enough, the same occasional glitchy look to lightning strikes that crash the ground. Like the lightning is there for 1 second, or the thunder is there for 1 second, whatever it is there for 1 second. You blink, it disappears, and then you blink again and it appears, and it crashes to the ground. Same glitchy effect.
An ob check.
You may. Would Jacob like to as well?
Like to what? Nature check?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to look for a pen.
Well, if you find a pen, I have a pineapple.
Go away. Ob,
Apple pen.
with an 18, you... It's still kind of hard to tell the time of day due to the intense thunderstorm, lightning storm that's happening right now. But if you had to wager a guess, definitely close to night. Maybe 10, 11 o'clock. It seems to be almost a permanent nighttime. The area you're in definitely doesn't seem like you're anywhere back on Erdan. It's not a normal day-night cycle.
Okay. Well, seeing Gale and Duden head towards the tower, he would go to join them, or move with them.
Same with Signy.
And I assume Jacob as well is moving to the tower?
Yay.
So you all eventually make it to the base of the tower, and you see the previous incorporeal figures walking down a set of stairs through a trap door, and the figures you see are, boy, can I get this right, of a pink-looking tiefling, I believe bluish-looking, might be tiefling, I forget, a paladin in shining armor, someone kind of youngish flying on a broom, and what looks to be a cloaked figure who seems to be almost hovering over the ground, but upon closer inspection you see tentacles moving with him. And they're all these ghostly spirits that seem to be walking down the stairs and into the basement of this tower. What would you like to do?
Can I roll like an Arcana check to see if I would know, like, are these actually like spirits, or are these like some sort of illusion or something?
You certainly may.
And would I have advantage because of my blood hunterness?
It's nothing related to Fey, Fiends, or Undead.
Okay.
Currently. It doesn't even matter. They don't seem to be illusions or spirits. They seem to be... With that Arcana, you get a look around. You kind of make note of all the glitchiness. It seems to be that all of your connected dreams that have brought you here, as you kind of look back at where you landed, you see what looks to be this almost purple, bluish, glittering, shining rift that has cracked in reality itself. And you look back at the incorporeal figures that are walking down the stairs, and you make note of this, and it seems that they aren't illusions or spirits, but more so visions of a past event that have been brought through this rift and are repeating themselves.
Ob would relay that information to the party.
Gale would already have drawn a dagger and would have been following after.
Okay, so Gale goes down the stairs. Is everyone
I
else
would follow after.
Duden will follow. Very cautiously.
Jacob waits a few minutes as people go down, and then he follows because he's writing stuff in his book.
As Ob would be walking down the stairs, he would be testing both magic and his Crimson Right to see if they both work like in this, world, reality, time displacement, whatever thing he's living in.
Yes, you may do that.
So, do I feel like I am bolstered with health?
You do.
And then, do I feel like I take damage as I slice myself?
You do.
Okay.
Oh no, I screwed up my map. Oh god, everything's wrong. Did I fix it? I didn't. Hold on. Something went wrong.
You need Alex to come in and delete something?
No. I just broke a map
No.
by accidentally copy-pasting your giant forms and you're not even on the map. Hold on. Literally everything's broken.
Oh no.
Our table, it's broken.
I don't know how to fix this.
Good game, guys. GG's.
Yeah.
We beat it! We broke the map! Game over.
Can I fix it by increasing the height so I can see your tokens that are off the screen? Let's find out. Nope! That's fantastic. Okay. Wonderful. The map is broken.
I'm gonna go fill up my water real quick while you fix this.
Yeah. Love it. We love
Also,
technical difficulties.
while we're distracted and trying to fix things, I think the Duden you deleted was the level 7, and I'm trying to level up this one. It won't let me progress any further.
They were both level 6s.
Okay.
So...
Would it fuck everything up if I imported a level 7?
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm gonna fix that right now.
Okay. As you walk down these stairs, this is the order, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming you're in the back. I forget actually
Is it supposed to be a black screen?
Did I not give you dark vision? Thought I gave you dark vision. I did not. Haha. You have 60 feet?
Yes.
Is it black now?
Ah, I see now.
So, as you walk down the stairs, this is a cellar, it seems like, that has long been swallowed by this glitching primordial forest. You see glitching vines running down these walls and into cracks alongside the staircase. You smell nothing but mold and what smells like chicken feces that attack your nose. And ahead of you, you see what looks to be a landing area at the bottom of the stairs. And you see the incorporeal figures walking down the stairs and seemingly completely through this door.
Gale will continue to follow the figures. Again, dagger out, ready to strike anything that tries to jump out at her.
Okay.
Ob would follow Duden when he starts walking down. If he starts walking down. Because I'm guessing with this one wide, like, there's not enough room to, like, at least for Ob, he can't really sneak past.
Yeah, so Duden will tread lightly. And try to sneak.
Alright, you may sneak. Oh, there's 2 Duden tokens.
Alright, whichever one I just dragged, I think.
Alright, so... Okay, I'll fix that. So I'll delete this old token if you want to put everything on your new token. I have to give you dark vision first of all, so you can actually see the new token.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Alright, and I'll delete this old one. And then you can put your health in, and we'll put you right here. So you should be able to see.
Did the figures go left or right?
They went this direction. So left.
I'm assuming this... Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, if you go through the door, you see, which I think you can see this room now.
Yeah.
You see a large stone guardian and a tiny little chicken with a little amulet around their neck, and they both seem to be kind of glitching through time and space itself, and they both spot you as you look around and you see the previous incorporeal figures fighting against this statue and chicken, and it's initiative time.
Uh-oh.
As no one else has moved down the staircase yet.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
Oh, I have advantage on initiative.
Dexterity is a +4. Or the 18 dex, so 4. If that matters at any time.
Your token. Oh my god. No, dark vision didn't save. Oh, that you can't see your token because you don't have dark vision. Here, I'm moving you guys up just so everyone can be in the map.
Okay.
Well, Aubin, you here, and then you here, you here. No, we'll put you next to Ob so you can actually see yourself because you don't have dark vision. Boom. So now you should be able to see your token.
Can you see now, Signy? Guys should be getting off 10 and 10. Am I not emitting light?
Did dark vision just break when? No, you are.
Oh, maybe you have to, did you turn on
Yeah.
dark?
I'm just gonna give you light and say you lit a freaking torch. Because I'm tired of technical difficulties. Here, I'm giving you bright light of 20 feet. There you go. So I see Duden. Okay. Let me give you a turn. Add Turn.
Oh my gosh, that is the cutest little chicken token. It's so little.
Yep. Jacob, I know you said you're having connection issues. Are you able to roll initiative? Oh, that's a fun time. You know, it's not Dungeons & Dragons without some technical difficulties.
100% on roll. Oh no. Oh no. Your poor CPU is not having a good time.
Jeez. Oh, that sounds not great. Do you want me to just roll for you? I can roll for you. Okay, I'll roll for you until things get fixed. Let me open character sheet. Find you. There you are. Okay. Loading character sheet, character sheet. Initiative. $18.
Oh god, we're fighting the actual chicken lich already.
Everything's. If you still see black, just reload your game because you have dark vision, so it's not on my end. Can you see anything if you're here? Because you have vision. Maybe I should have clicked on give vision instead of just bright light, you smart. So many technical difficulties. Alright, now you should be able to see. And if you don't see anything, then I don't know what to tell you. Where are my monsters? Because this little chicken is up first. If my character sheet would load. Never whisper, please. Don't always roll advantage.
That's cheating.
So this little chicken, from its little amulet, is going to look at you, Gale, and unleash a firebolt at you.
Huh.
Pew! Nope. I assume a 10 misses.
Yep, that misses.
Jacob, how's your computer doing, buddy?
Good question.
You live over there?
Bro, this map is fucking me, dude. It's literally this map. No matter what
This shouldn't be, I mean, is the map working for everyone else?
Yeah, map seems to be working for me.
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's really weird. Well, that's a problem because most of this game is going to be on this map.
It's all just a dream anyways, right?
Yeah. All right, let's see. Yeah, maybe it's the dark vision. Sure. There. How about now? Well, now you're not going to be able to see anything. Well, I'll give you vision, but I'll turn off the night vision and give you, like, bright light. That would work. Is everything still broken now? Okay. Hopefully everything works. So many technical difficulties. Hoping it works. Yeah, I don't know what to say either. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip your turn then. Ob, you're up.
Okay. I can't squeeze past Dunan, can I?
You can. It'll just be difficult terrain.
Okay. Then, alright, so difficult terrain is what, double?
Yes.
So 10, 15, and then 25, 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see, which bonus action do I want to do first? I have so many. Bonus action, I'm going to... No, I'm not going to do any bonus action. I'm just going to, Would I have heard this chicken make a, or like the sound of an attack?
Yes. You also all hear the sounds of an endless, cawing, and clucking throughout this entire cellar.
Okay. Well, I'm going to assume that it came from one of the two things, and that's the only thing within my reach, so I'm going to make 2 attacks with my Warhammer against the little thing in front of me.
Okay.
So that would be... Y...
Yeah.
For 14, and attack number 2? Probably
that
not.
misses.
Okay.
Is that all?
Yes, that will be my turn.
Okay. Signy.
I'm here. I don't know where. Oh, I see now. Okay. Difficult terrain.
Mm-hmm. To move through allies.
Okay, so 10, 20, 30, right?
Yeah.
Am I doing the math correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then this would be 40 here. I'm guessing?
Where? Here?
No, here. This right here. That'd be 40.
15. Yes. We'll go with that.
Okay, so I would be back here then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll end my turn there.
Okay. The Shield Guardian. What can he do? I forget what he can do. He has some fun stuff. I'm pretty sure. He does have some fun stuff. He is going to stomp up to you, Ob.
Of course he is.
And he's going to try and slam into you with his 2 stony fists. So the first one... Oh, that was a whispered, but it was a 16.
That would miss.
I should turn off whispers, huh? And then the other fist... Nope.
That also misses.
Gale, you're up.
All right, going to step into the room, and we're going to attack the chicken.
Okay. That hits.
That's one. That's two.
That also hits.
And what the heck? We'll throw in an unarmed strike.
And you punch this chicken's head clean off, and you see the amulet around its neck go flying into this corner. And as the amulet goes flying off of the chicken's head, you see the large stone guardian in front of you, Ob, kind of powers down. And then after he powers down, you see him kind of fall backwards and onto the ground, and he is immobile.
You'll walk forward and pick up the amulet.
Okay, it is a nice shining jewel with a little, or a nice amulet with a little red jewel in the middle of it.
Nothing that I can do. Does it seem like it might control the golem?
You can give me an Arcana check if you wish.
I was gonna say, could I assist you with that?
Yeah, you can look at it if you want, Ob. You look at it, and all of these creatures themselves and this item, they all do seem to have that same glitching effect. However, as you look at it and you look at the Guardian, it does seem that as you look over it a bit more, it does seem to have a connection between the two. You look at the Guardian, it seems to have an equally similar red jewel within the center of its chest.
You will try putting it on.
Okay, you put it on. Nothing happens when you put it on.
Well, we'll check this thing out later then.
And you do seem to have a door directly here, which seems to have a chicken's beak on it. Ooh, and as you step in front of the door, Gale, all of you hear a voice speak out saying, "To proceed, answer this riddle correctly. To perish, answer this riddle incorrectly. I have 10 or more daughters. I have less than 10 daughters. I have at least one daughter. If only one of these statements is true, how many daughters do I have?" And as the door speaks this riddle, you do all see the same visions, the incorporeal figures standing around the same door as you are.
Yeah, we'll look to the others and repeat it.
So you all have heard the riddle.
Duden's not going to answer, but he'll raise his hand and he'll give 3 fingers, as the third statement. Is his suggestion.
That was my thought too. At least one daughter?
Is that your answer? Is that your final answer?
Unless anyone else has anything to say.
Question: So the voice said that, like, answer incorrectly and perish. Is that the person who answers, or is that everyone in the room?
It is safe to assume the person who answers.
Okay. Ob would wait, because Ob has a thought, but he wants to check.
Anything from Signy?
Honestly, you got me stumped. I thought that this was related to Henry VIII I am, but no. So I don't really know what to do here.
It's my time to torture people with puzzles.
Duden will look at Gale. Like, do you want to answer or me?
And do it either way.
Okay, Duden will answer. And he will answer, you have at least one daughter.
As Duden answers, you see the chicken mouth on the door open up, and what looks to be a small beam fired directly into Duden's chest, and then Duden just drops.
Ah,
No, my candy cane. Or my cotton candy, no.
Is he dead or is he downed?
He doesn't seem to be moving. Doesn't seem to be any breath.
I don't have any Heelys. Ob would look at the door and say, you have no daughters.
As you answer, you see the mouth close and the door glitches and shimmers and shakes. Oop, hold on. As it opens up. And you see a horde of chickens through the door. Who all see you. However, as all of the chickens look at you, ready to swarm into the room, you find yourselves feeling a weird shift of energy. And it seems like this room itself is glitching more than it should be. And all of you see this rift just consume the room, and you find yourselves all teleported in front of this strange looking rock. And as you're all teleported here, you see Duden standing alive next to you all. And you see different visions, not of the people you saw before, but you see a different group of adventuring, incorporeal figures standing in front of this rock, looking at something.
Ob would turn to Duden. Do you live?
Do I remember what just happened, or no?
You remember standing in the room, answering the question, and then suddenly you're in front of this rock.
I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? I got it right. You're welcome.
Ob would not correct him. Where are the incorporeal people?
They are essentially circling kind of like this, looking at the rock. And there seems to be another group of 5, however, they all look different. There seems to be a figure that each of you would recognize in front of this rock. You don't recognize the rest of them, but all of you do recognize the incorporeal figure of the warlock sorcerer Jacob that you're traveling with.
One second. I'm checking something. Okay, yeah, no, okay.
Just like the last location, this entire area does seem to also be glitching with the same rift-like energy.
Is Gale still wearing the guardian necklace or the whatever?
Yes.
Hmm. And Jacob is not with us here, correct? Is that intentional?
His intention.
Okay.
Because he has messaged me and said his computer just the fritz.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder what they're looking at. Can I make a perception check to see?
You may. You all may if you wish. Uh, 12. Duden, would you like to make a perception?
Yeah, my character sheet's bugging out right now.
So many technical difficulties.
Yeah.
It's only appropriate that I'm running a game that is breaking the, space-time continuum, that we have a bunch of difficulties.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's glitching.
So Ob, Signy, Gale, you guys are kind of looking around. You don't see what they're looking at. However, next to them, right here, you do notice the glitching out and incorporeal forms of what looks to be two corpses. One is a large skeletized abomination, and one looks to be a tiny little demonic-looking chicken. And they both look to be chicken creatures. The large bone-like undead creature and the little demonic creature both seem to be chicken in form. Duden, you see this as well, and however, you walk a bit closer to the incorporeal figures, and you see them surrounding what looks to be a sword in the dirt. What looks to be like at a grave. This sword is in a grave, and you see them pick up the sword, and they seem to be picking up an incorporeal version of this sword, as the sword that you saw them picked up still remains physical in the dirt in front of you. So there is an actual sword buried in the dirt.
What is the sword? How fancy does the sword look? Does it look like anything special in particular, or no?
It looks to be a pretty fancy looking sword. The hilt is finely carved. The blade seems to be shining bright.
Can I I'd like to approach these people. Can I touch them? Are they corporeal?
As you go to touch them, your hand goes right through. As you go to touch one of them, the part where you go to touch kind of glitches out with the same rift-like energy, and your hand just passes right through them.
And the sword, does it look like it will do the same thing as I look at it?
The sword is glitching out and is shifting and shaking, but it seems to be like the amulet. It seems to be a physical item that you can grab and hold on to.
I will poke it with my sword to see if it's real.
You poke it with your sword, and it glitches a little bit, but it is indeed real.
Oh, all right. I'll look back to everyone. Like, you see this, right? That they're trying to pull the sword out. Should I do it? I'd like to make a perception check to look around if I see like any danger or anything.
Sure.
We'll see how long it takes.
8.
There it is. That's a normal roll for me.
Other than the glitching, weird surrounding and the still thundering sky, doesn't seem to be any danger around.
Does anyone object?
I was gonna say, can I check for traps with a survival check?
You can do an investigation check.
Or investigation. Sorry.
Yeah, by all means.
Doesn't seem to be trapped.
Op would tell you would say take it.
Go ahead.
All right. I'd like to give myself guidance, and I will try to take it.
We'll have an attack at the ready with a sunbolt.
Okay. You give yourself guidance, and there's no roll for it, but if you want, you can roll strength just for funsies.
With a -1, let's do it. Hey!
You pull out the sword, and it is a nicely carved, bright, shining longsword. And as you look at it, and it kind of glitches out in your hand, you get a close look at the hilt of the sword, and the hilt at the bottom of it seems to be carved in the shape of a chicken's head and beak.
Interesting, and I'll show the group the chicken sword.
Ob would pull out his chicken plushie and mentally ask it if he knows anything about what seems to be these demonic chicken visions that he's having, that we're experiencing here.
You pull out the chicken plushie, and he says, "No, this is all new to me. I was born in a factory."
They didn't teach you about this in chicken plushie school?
No, they made me and then put me in that stall at the carnival, and then you came along, and now I'm your friend.
Okay. You don't have any issues if I kill more chickens, do you?
I'm not really a real chicken. I'm kind of just magic. Be my guest.
Fair. And I would, sort of try to clip him onto my my shoulder strap so he can see as we're walking around.
Okay. Duden, this is the name of the sword, and it does act as a +1 longsword. Chicken. It should be chicken slaying. The time-lost sword of chicken slaying.
Hey, all right.
And it is a +1 longsword.
Excuse me.
Ooh, interesting though. As you pick up the sword, I would like a wisdom saving throw from you, Duden.
Okay, I know I can do this. I have to. It's a cleric. Seriously, it takes 10 seconds from when I click it to when it shows up. Christ on a cracker.
As you pick up the sword, you hear a voice creep into your mind. And you hear it say, others would hear that. But Duden, you hear a voice creep into your head and say, "What are you doing here? How did you even get here?" It doesn't matter. Keep the sword. If you get rid of it, I'll find you and I'll kill you. And then the voice fades away, and you have this strong urge to not give up this sword.
All right. Everyone hears the clucking, but do they hear that voice?
No.
Okay.
Only you do, as
All
you grab the sword. And
I will covet this chicken sword.
as you take the sword in hand and you pull it from the dirt, once more you find yourselves this new realm shifting and shattering as a rift opens once more, and you find yourselves back in the cellar, chickens ready to attack.
Does Duden appear to be up in this realm again?
Yes.
Okay.
With a chicken sword.
With a chicken sword.
Do I still have my attack held for enemies?
I'm going to say no. As your attack was held in a different, quote-unquote, dimension. Yep, wisp toggle, advantage toggle, as I roll for these chickens. Yeah, you gotta click on your token. And then the chicken disciples need rolling. Alright, this swarm is up first as it charges through the door, this swarm of chickens, to get right there. And they, as I increase the volume of this music a little bit, are going to... They're going to take a peck at you, Gale. For a 7.
Nope.
This swarm is going to move in and take a peck at you, Ob.
I have a pet chicken.
Well, these are evil chickens.
Well, that's just mean.
And they're going to try and bite you. Nope. This swarm is going to move through his swarmy buddies and jump on the shield guardian right here and try and bite Gale, and Mr. Ob will get an attack of opportunity.
I'll definitely take that.
Yes.
16.
16. Oh, this swarm is not looking good. You swat and a bunch of chickens just go flying as they try and nom on Gale for a 16.
Let me see. No.
Alright, and it's your turn, Gale.
Alright. Time to make some chicken kebabs. Does a 10 hit?
A 10? Which one are you hitting?
Go for that one here.
10 does hit. And you skewer some of the chickens.
Since there's an ally there would also be a sneak attack.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, there's... This swarm is down to like 2 chickens left.
And unarmed strike.
This swarm in front of you is no more, as you punch the remaining chickens dead.
And my second attack. Oh, that's in that one.
Yeah, that misses, unfortunately. Anything else?
That's my turn.
Alright, Duden, you are indeed back to life in this strange realm that you were just, you don't know what happened. You answer the door's open, and now you're here, fighting chickens.
With the chicken slang, right?
Yes.
Alright, well, I'm gonna sling some chickens with the chicken slang.
And it is a +1 longsword, which you can add to your inventory.
Alright, so I'll try. Oh no, I can't hit that guy.
I say you can.
Okay. Huh. Oh, I gotta edit the attack. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong spot.
Oh.
18. Time lost
Nice.
chicken slang. That does hit. Are you using two-handed or one-handed?
One-handed.
So 8 damage. As you strike this chicken with the time lost chicken slayer, it doesn't seem to do anything extra. You kind of feel like you were lied to.
We'll see. Alright. I will do.
Do clerics never get double attack?
Some do.
Yep.
I do not.
Okay.
Forge and, war do.
Okay. But they're not one of the base classes. Like, they don't get it without a subclass.
Correct, yeah. They're not considered a martial class.
Got it.
Yeah, they're considered a pure caster.
Up.
Okay.
And once again, if you take a look at your surroundings, you also see the previous, the same incorporeal figures that were here, the tiefling, the hooded figure, the paladin fighting against these chickens.
Okay. We're gonna make it a melee attack against that one there.
Okay. That hits.
4. 17.
You completely splat this entire swarm.
Alright, and do I see that little chicken in there?
You would.
Alright. 5, 10, 15.
As you enter this room, I would like a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, good. Well.
As you walk into this room, you see a magical doorway suddenly appear in front of you, and you realize it's too late. You've already have the momentum of moving forward, and you step into the doorway, and you find yourself teleported at the top of the stairs.
Oh, that's rude. Alright, let me see here. I was right here, correct?
Yes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Bullshit.
This little chicken is going to boop right at the doorway, and is going to, let's see, here. They are going to... They are in melee, so it's going to be a disadvantage, but they're going to try and firebolt Gale. For a 12, which I assume misses.
Yep.
Signy, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna go 5. Is investigation an action?
I'll say it can be a free action.
Okay.
That is... Hold on, I have to tell you what that is. Because that is not a doorway, it is a solid stone wall that you cannot pass through.
Okay. So 10.
Your investigation would tell you that this is a solid stone wall that you cannot pass through.
Alright. Would that be 15?
Yes.
Okay. Is that bad?
This chicken is bad. This large
But
thing
this one
here is on the ground, immobile, doing nothing.
So, would it be difficult terrain if I went past?
Yes, because
I
it
went
is
right there.
still a creature.
Alright, Eldritch Blast, I guess.
At this chicken?
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
Oh.
That chicken is.
Oh.
That chicken swarm is obliterated.
Well then.
Nice.
Is that all?
Yep.
This chicken is. Yeah, they're gonna position themselves right here. And unfortunately, this is gonna affect my other chicken too. As the chicken back here, so this is gonna hit Signy, Duden, Gale, and his own chicken buddy as he casts Fireball at 3rd level.
Ah,
So I need everyone
Okay.
in that room to make a dex save, including my own chicken boy. And the Shield Guardian's gonna automatically fail it.
hang on to see.
Of course I fail it.
Fall, quick and healing, extra attack, slamming strike, focusing. Ah.
So if you
I'm
fail,
suddenly so thankful I got teleported.
so if you fail, you take 18 damage because I like rounding up. If you succeeded, or if you fail, you take full. If you succeeded, you take 18 damage. So Duden, you take 18 damage. Signy, the chicken, the chicken succeeded. Signy and Gale both take 35 fire damage.
No, you mother clucker.
And that's his turn. Gale.
3 6s out of 5. Whew.
Yeah, she says mother clucker as she stabs at it with a nat 20.
Yeah. You cut this chicken and kebab him, and he's the one in front of the door is dead. And you see the chicken that fireballed you.
I'm gonna throw some radiance at it.
That hits. That misses. It hits the wall next to him.
Hang on. I'm gonna spend a key point to boost that by an additional 2.
Then it hits. And this chicken is clucking in pain. Is that all from Gale?
Nah. Just eyeing that chicken.
Alright. And as you walk into this room, you see that there are 3 bars barring your way from entering into this flooded-looking room. Duden. A fireball just obliterated directly in front of you, and now you smell this nice scent of fried chicken. And burnt hair.
So are these chickens like? Did they turn to ash, or are they cooked chicken?
They some of them are ash, some of them are cooked chicken. They are still glitching in and out of existence, despite being cooked and burned chicken.
All right. I will move forward so that I can see this guy. As I walk, I'd like to kind of drag my sword, see if I can poke maybe a chicken.
Okay.
Maybe if I get one, I'll have a little snack later.
Yeah, you do that.
All right. Yeah, of course, with the chicken slayer, as one does. And then I see this chicken, and he looks fine, right? Looks totally.
He took some hits. He's missing a few feathers.
All right. I will. I'd like to try casting Toll the Dead on that guy.
Okay. wisdom saving throw or take 1d12. Or no, 2d12 because you are higher level.
Yep, that is correct.
Let us find out. 16.
Damn it. Okay, so I will have casted that, and then I'm gonna move to the side.
All right. Ob, you just got teleported, and now you're here.
Okay. 5, 10, 20, 25. Because I can stand on dead bodies, right?
Yeah, you're just walking over chicken corpses.
I'm crushing chicken corpses.
Yes.
I'm going to cast Chill Touch on him. So let's see
Okay.
if this hits.
That
A 12?
hits exactly.
13 necrotic damage.
13 necrotic damage. Okay.
And then gonna step back because I don't want to block the way for anyone else to go through there.
Okay. Signy, you're up.
I'm gonna just cast Healing Spirit on myself.
Well,
For
healing
4.
healing spirit, I think heals you at the start of your next turn, and it can heal everyone in that radius.
Well, it says for me until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature can see moves into the spirit space for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, you can cause the spirit to restore 1d6 hit points. To the creature, no action required. You can't heal constructs or the undead.
Yeah, I guess you can heal yourself with spirit. Yeah. So you heal yourself for
Alright.
4.
Cool. And I'm a turn.
Okay, Chicken Disciple. Gale, give me a quick perception check since you're in this room.
Perception. Getting shit perception
Okay.
right now.
What is... You know, this chicken's just gonna fire a magic missile at you, Gale.
Well, that's bad news for me because I can't avoid that.
So you're gonna take 7 damage.
Yeah. I'm down.
And he's just gonna kind of stay where he is. It's your turn.
So
So
I'm
I
assuming
need
you
a death save, yes. Well, it's a success. Duden.
As Duden can hear the scuffle, he will make his way in, and he will cast Toll the Dead again. I really want this to work.
Alright.
I want it to work one time. That's all I want.
One time. Well, he's only got a +2, so he's got a +4. 11. He failed.
Hey, all right.
So 2d12.
Oops. I'll roll the other one. Fucking garbage.
4 damage. Okay.
Oh, that hurts my heart so much.
He's still alive.
Oh my god. Okay. I will come over to Gale, and I will cast... Well, I guess I don't need to go over, but oh well. Healing Word.
Alright. Roll that healing word. Gale, you are back up with 5 health.
And I'll just assume like a defensive position.
Alright. Up.
All right. Ob is 5. Would it be an action to do a perception check to see if I can see whatever trap I might have sprung that caused me to teleport backwards?
I'll give you a free action. You don't see anything.
All right. 5. Let's see here. What do I have that I might be able to?
Although you do see that your other 2 allies were able to walk into the room.
10.
Give me a no.
Where to go? 15. Any deck saves?
No.
All right. I'm pissed. I'm swinging my war
Yep.
for 11.
You squash this chicken. He's dead.
Okay. Does there appear to be any magical items? I know that the last one had an amulet that it cast firebolt through.
No, he does not seem to have any magical items on him. In this room, you can see behind these bars that lead to a flooded area. If you can only get past the bars, and now that you have a good vision, you see 2 large guardians and what look to be a tiny little chicken down this way. And as you look past, there seems to be some sort of shimmering barrier in your way, and you see this tiny little chicken look at you and say, kind of in surprise, and say, "How are you here? I thought I was safe. Is this happening again? Oh, why is this happening again?" And you see him run with his tiny little chicken feet upwards and out of view.
I would turn to the party and say, I think I might have found the master of this demonic pit.
I think I'm gonna drink a potion.
I want to go see if one of those chickens is edible.
All right. They're all burnt, but I mean, if you don't mind burnt chicken.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Should I do a nature check to see if it's edible? Or no, survival, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, it's burnt chicken, but you can eat it.
I'll take the rest of the cotton candy that's in my beard and put it on some of the chicken and
give it some flavor. Oh, actually, interestingly enough, you see that this back guardian here, right here, because I forgot about this, it doesn't seem to be standing. It seems the pieces of it seem to be on the ground, broken and partially dissolved. As you see the previous, the incorporeal figures walk into this room, you see them walking through this bar into a separate room, and then you see a second group of the same figures walking through here and fighting the figures in this room.
How far up do the bars go?
The bars go entirely to the ceiling. And the ceiling, I believe I can tell you, the ceiling are 15 feet high, with rotten timbers, old moldy tapestries of some long-forgotten royal family still hanging from some of the walls. Yeah.
Does there appear to be do these bars appear to be solid, or does it look like there might be some mechanism that causes them to retract or something?
They seem to be solid metal bars. They are glitching in and out of existence, though, just like everything else.
But they're not glitching to the point that I could walk through them or anything.
It doesn't seem like it. It seems like everything else, where you blink, they're there. You blink, they're gone. You blink, they're there.
So if I blink when had them disappear, then close my eyes, I could walk through them?
Who knows? Is Ob smart enough to try it?
Nope. Or maybe he is.
Maybe
It
8
seems
is.
Is he dumb enough to try it? I think might be the better question.
Mhm.
I'm going to do a second potion because fuck these chickens.
Oh, there you go. I want to say, since I can I move the healing spirit? Yes.
Yeah, you can do that. So you can roll health for Gale. We can just say however long it lasts. So you can do 3 more. I think it lasts 3 turns, 4 turns.
And then can I also do it for me as well?
Yeah. So you can
So-
heal. So I'd say you have 2 more uses of it.
Okay.
So the 4 is for
Great.
Gale, the 1 is for you, and then you have 1 more you can use.
How bloodied is Gale?
25 out of 39.
Over half.
All right, I'll give it to you. Here.
4.
So we're both at 29.
This shimmering barrier. Can I make an Arcana check to see if like I can figure out like is it magical or is it like another one of the like the time glitching thing? Does it seem like?
Yeah, go for it.
Wow, I'm getting
18
15.
Arcana, yeah. You look at this barrier, and it seems to be the one thing that is solidly here. It's not glitching, nothing's with it. You know, knowing everything that's going on here, you don't fully understand what everything is, but seeing the figures, the incorporeal figures walking through, you probably you kind of put things together and you think about it. You were teleported in the past in the last room. You weren't teleported in this room. You probably have to follow the path of those figures. And whenever you figure out, whenever you go through the series of events that these figures went through, it's probably safe to assume that this barrier will open.
So maybe let's check the other direction.
I don't think there is another. I think he said that this was a solid wall.
Yeah, that's a stone
Yeah,
wall.
so that's it solid.
The wall?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, then never
Did
mind.
we, when we were in this room, did we see them fighting the shield guardian?
You did, yes.
Do you think we need to destroy the shield guardian?
Actually, interestingly enough, though, in this room, you would have seen the paladin picking up one of the amulets off of the chickens and doing the same thing Gale did, putting around its neck, or their neck.
Hmm.
Gale will actually try approaching the barrier to examine it.
Okay, yeah, you go to approach. You can do an Arcana check if you wish. You approach, you kind of examine it, you put your hand to it. It doesn't seem to let you through. It seems to be a solid barrier of force.
Can I try to control the golem in the previous room?
Sure. What do you do to try and control it?
She will actually come to the room here. So I'll stretch her hand to it and like tell the golem to stand.
I'm gonna delete all these bodies real quick.
I wouldn't be in there.
You put your hand to the golem, you tell it to stand, you see its eyes and the gem inside of it light up, it stands to attention.
Ah, neat.
So you currently have a what is essentially an amulet of Golem command, and it works for only this Shield Guardian.
That is still pretty cool. Will it fit through the door?
Yeah, it'll fit through the door. It'll
So
probably bust its way through the door.
that's fine. Okay, we'll ask the others to step back.
Duden will step back, give it room.
Same.
Okay, everyone steps back.
There's the dwarf. It looks like
Yeah,
dwarf and Cygnus.
I'll just move everyone.
Yeah, and so we'll have the golem enter through the door.
This one right here.
Yep.
All right, you send it through, and it goes busting its way into this room, leaving a golem-shaped hole in the wall.
And she comes in behind it. Then she'll ask them to move and try to the golem go through the pillars or try to break the pillars.
All right. Signy, you see the shield guardian start moving towards your direction. I assume you move out of the way.
Yes, I do.
All right, if you want to move yourself.
1 second, I'm gonna... Okay, thank you.
Blop you up here. You send it
Thank you.
to the bars, and you see it take its two large hands, grab the bars, and rip them off. And then it just turns around to face you, Gale.
Excellent work. So we'll say this, shall we? And if she's able to, she'll just kind of like sit on the golem's shoulder or something as she sends it through.
Okay. Boop. Boop. And begins walking through, and I can describe this room, dude, and if you want to follow the group, you may. Follow the leader. So this room, this pool room, let me tell you about it. It's a simple little room. There's debris in the ground, stagnant water pooling in this room, and you see past into this room down here. You see the same incorporeal figures walking in, and you see they seem to be talking to something in this corner, someone in this corner, but you can't see past them. This room looks to be a prison area where you see the other end of the stone wall blocking it off.
Ob would go in there to see if he could see who they're talking to. Like, I mean, he is 7'6", so I imagine he can see over them.
So Ob, you can give me. Everyone can give me perceptions. Ob, if you would like, you can give me a perception with advantage.
That +0.
Wait for that dude in perception.
My character sheet, man, it's just staring at me. Fuck. Well, I'll roll a d20.
Okay.
I think it's +3 or something like that. I'm just not going to close my character sheet again.
So, Duden and Signy, you can't really see what these figures are talking
12.
to, but Gale and Ob, Gale, you see they seem to be standing around and helping unchain what looks to be a little goblin that is locked to the wall. Ob, you recognize this little goblin. This is
Do I
Boop the
recognize
Goblin.
Boop?
This is Boop the Goblin.
Ob would make a note of the ones helping Boop up. but like Boop is not actually there, right? It's just a
No, it
corporeal
is
version of
in
him.
incorporeal form, similar to the
Okay.
figures.
Ob would sort of smirk and smile and file this away as something he might need to bring up later.
Okay.
And is there anything else in the room?
Well, as both Gale and you take notice of all of this happening, you do hear what sounds to be hissing noises. And jumping at you from the spot where Boop the Goblin was once locked up isn't a goblin, but seems to be a figure glitching in and out of existence, fangs and claws, and jumping at you, thankfully with high enough perception not get a surprise attack, is a vampire spawn. Initiative.
Ooh.
So glad I healed up for this. Of course, I swear I had clicked on my character, but not 20.
Oh, wait.
Mm.
That's surprising.
Let me find the vampire spawn sheet and turn off whispers. Okay, what can they get? Can they beat a natural 24? They got a 10.
No.
And Gale, you are up first. With your high enough perception, you are able to see past the adventuring, the visions of the adventurers helping out this little goblin to see that a solid but still glitching out vampire spawn took the place of the goblin and lunged out at you. A
Is a 12 hit.
12 misses. It bashes away your rapier with its claws. That hits!
How about that 20?
That hits!
Plus sneak attack.
And we max the sneak attack as well.
Another 6.
Yeah.
Does a 13 hits?
That misses.
Does a 15 hits?
A 15 hits.
Because I used my key to boost it again.
Nice, so 8 bludgeoning. Alright.
And we'll make it a stunning strike.
Okay. What is the saving throw and what is the DC?
I believe, let's see.
I think it's a con save. Normally.
Let's see.
That makes sense.
Constitution saving throw.
Alright, what do they have to beat?
Checking that now.
Well, I'm gonna roll it. I assume they fail. They got an 8.
14, yeah.
They are
So
stunned. They have little birdies around their head. Anything else from Gale as this vampire spawn lunges at you and you just throw blows into it?
That's it.
Alright, Duden.
Duden can just hear that shit's happening.
Yeah, you can also you also do have view.
I'd also what?
You have view of it happening.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I will sneak in the room, I guess. So 10, 20, 30, 25.
All right.
Then I will attack with the new awesome fucking sword.
Freaking Slayer.
I think you may have advantage on
Yep.
right?
Stun
Advantage on
creatures have yeah, you have advantage on stuns.
Yeah, so you have you can swing with advantage.
So F it up.
Hey, how about that? All right. Advantage. I clicked on it like a minute ago, so let's see if it finally shows up.
13 doesn't hit, but you have advantage, so you can roll again. A 15 does hit for 10.
Nice. All right. So it's one-handed, so...
Yes. Is that your turn, sir?
Yes, that will end my turn.
Alright. Signy.
I see. 10, 20, 30. And let's see what I got. I'm just gonna hit with my versatile means it can be thrown, right?
Versatile
Or-
means you can use dexterity instead of strength, right?
No, I think versatile means that you can use one-handed or two-handed, right?
Oh, that's probably it. That makes...
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. What am I thinking of?
I don't know. Okay.
That's what-
Ness.
Yeah, that's it.
Try to use my quarterstaff. Let's see.
You have advantage.
Nope.
So
You
swing
try again.
14 misses.
Oh, of course. Alright, ending my turn.
Ob.
All right. Well, I don't like the fact that it tried to jump out at me. But it's a vampire spawn. So I probably won't do much with necrotic damage, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do the old whack.
Alright.
But first I'm gonna drink a mutagen potion. Boost my my strength by 3.
I also just want to say, this is my first time really looking at at least this token for the vampire spawn, and that's a nutty token.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. Alright, so attack number 1
Yeah.
for 15.
Okay.
Attack number 2
Yes, sir.
for another 17.
Okay, this thing's not looking good. And Stunning Strike ends at the top of the monk's turn, right?
Yes.
Alright. Is that your turn, Mr. Obmud?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
that is.
It's his turn. He's still stunned. Gale, and he's no longer stunned.
Okay.
What you doing, Gale? Yeah, that hits, but if you want to roll... right, no advantage.
Nope.
I was like, you want to roll advantage? But no, you don't.
We
You're
will
stunned.
stun it again. Stunning strike.
Isn't it stunning off of a melee hit? Like a unarmed strike?
I think so. Let's find out.
No. Cool.
Oh, it's not? Oh. Yeah, okay, so Stunning Strike, so... Con save. Of... 21.
Yeah. Well, second attack.
How would you like to kill the vampire spawn?
Basically, just kind of like a steel stake through the heart.
Badass. And it falls and dies. I'm going to delete it because as it dies and combat ends, you find yourselves once more a rift opening in this room, and you're all teleported to a new location. As I copy and paste you appropriately this time. You find yourselves teleported to an underground altar. And you see a golden egg lying on the floor at the end.
What does the altar look like?
The altar has what looks to be a large looming chicken over it. So it's not a devil, but it is a chicken. And it, same as the other locations, this entire area is glitching in and out of existence.
Is there like any other incorporeal figures, or is it just us?
There are a new set of incorporeal figures who seem to be picking up this egg off the ground. But same with the sword, it seems to be an incorporeal version of the egg, as this egg remains behind.
Gale will go ahead and try to pick up the egg.
Okay. Well, the egg is down here if you'd like to move down
Downward. That makes sense. Okay, so Gale will approach this direction
there. You guys can see
cautiously.
the golden egg here. Yeah.
And, yeah.
You pick up the egg, and nothing seems to happen, but there definitely is a feeling of some sort of magic behind it, or in it. It does look to be horribly, parts of it seem to be horribly shattered, the gold destroyed, and seems to be a giant hole in one side of it that just goes into a hollow egg.
Does it appear to be like a real egg of sorts?
It seems to be a golden replica of what would be a real chicken egg, but it is not an actual egg.
Okay.
And it's the size of, it's probably the size of Gale's head.
An egg.
A big golden egg.
You want an egg in this trying time?
Does it look like the altar has a place for the egg?
Give me an investigation. $13. There does seem to be a place where this altar once held an egg. Yes. You do see that the visions, when you first entered, the visions of these figures did seem to grab this egg off from the altar. However, the egg that you find physical seemed to be cracked and on the floor. But Gale did indeed sense or get a feeling of a magical surge through the egg when they picked it up.
Well, guess let's try putting it on the altar.
Okay. You place it on the altar.
Yes.
Nothing seems to happen.
Is there any kind of inscription on the wall or anything like that?
Yes, there are indeed words written across this wall. What languages does everyone speak?
Abyssal, Draconic, Loxodon, plus common.
Common, Druidic, Goblin, and Sylvan.
Common, Draconic, Sylvan, Thieves' Cant.
Dwarven and Celestial.
Dwarven and Celestial. Okay. Well, interestingly enough, it is an abyssal. So, you'd be able to read it. And the words and the writing speak of how this was home to one of the chicken lich's many false phylacteries to throw his enemies off his trail.
He would relay that information that this seems to be a false location of a chicken lich.
Do you think that's what this is?
Schlicken, if you would.
I see. So should we try to go back somehow? Or
I'd like to make a religion check on the egg to see if I can tell if maybe it's a ruse, like it really is the phylactery.
Sure.
Or I guess would it be religion? Well,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess.
you can do a religion.
Hurry up, Jesus. There we go.
14. Yeah, I'll say that's enough. This definitely isn't an actual Lich's phylactery. However, it does seem to still have power behind it. And as you kind of look at it and kind of examine it, you get a feeling for the power behind it. And I'm proud of this one. This is what the item does. This, should anyone take it, is the power of the shattered phylactery.
huh?
Oh,
Interesting.
And it is a one-time use.
Wow. So it basically can heal you 2d10, but there's a chance you become a chicken forever.
Yep.
well, not really forever.
Become someone's pet, right there.
And Ob,
Yeah,
you do remember the whole following the path of these visions if you wanted to open the gateway, and the visions you saw in this location did take the egg with them.
Okay.
I mean,
I would relay that we should probably bring the egg with us.
I kind of figured that one. Well,
yeah.
I guess we shall head back.
Alright, so you take the egg off the altar.
Yep.
I'm just gonna move everyone here for my sake.
She'll just put it in her pack.
Alright.
Hey, Pi, don't question. What are these that are circling out the inside of it?
Oh, you know, devilish stuff.
As in investigation check or no?
Sure. They seem to be cruel, devilish spikes protruding from the wall.
Like
As opposed to heavenly spike.
Yeah.
from former fiends, or like is it like their horns or what?
Just seems to be spikes, and as you're examining them, the rift shifts once more, and you find yourselves back here.
Ob would immediately walk back to see if the barrier had dropped.
Oop, I don't want to move him. The barrier has indeed fallen. And you see the shield guardian standing at the ready.
We'll have her own shield guardian exit the room here.
Oof.
Ob will come back through. Is the vampire spawn still standing like down on the floor?
The vampire is indeed dead on the floor, glitching in and out of place.
He would pull out a wooden spike, and with his warhammer, like just spear it right through its heart to ensure death.
You spear it through the heart, and as you do so, you see the body of this vampire spawn completely get consumed by this glitchiness of this interdimensional rift, and the corpse just disappears with a pop.
I'm a blood hunter. I know this shit. Yeah. Like he would grunt in satisfaction. Imperfect death does not need to come back. And he would go walking back through.
What are Duden and Signy doing?
I'm just following them.
Yeah, headed back.
Okay. As you all head back, you would see this tiny chicken once more appear in view, seeing the barrier down, and he shouts out to all of you, "Oh, fine. I guess it is time to deal with another annoying adventuring group." And we can roll initiative as I play the best song of this game.
What?
Just keep going.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to turn that off.
No, you crank that. Hey, I think they wanted you to roll 19.
Yeah, seriously. What a waste of advantage.
Oh, I got. Oh no.
The best battle music ever. Dude, and you're up first.
Alright, and so, based on what he said, we believe that this is the chicken of chickens?
Yes, this is the chicken lich.
Okay. Given that, how tall are the ceilings again?
15 feet high.
It's not too high. Alright, well, either way. I will invoke I'll do my channel divinity.
Mm-hmm.
Twilight Sanctuary. So I have a 30-foot radius of dim light, and I gain a flying speed.
Ooh, okay.
And while doing that, everyone gets 1d6 plus my cleric level in temporary hit points. So let's see. So I'm supposed to be level 7. It's saying my character sheet says level 6, but I am level 7. As soon as it rolls. Oh, fuck. Well,
Hey.
better than nothing, guys. So 7 temp HP to everyone.
Well, you know, it's 1 plus your level, right?
Oh, yeah, so 8, sorry.
No,
And-
someone come back.
It's on repeat, don't worry.
Yes!
Alright, so that was my action, and then as a bonus action... no, I'm just going to fly up over here in this corner.
Okay.
And I'll hang tight.
Alright, Zeke the chicken lich. Is gonna do something. I love this song so much. It's so dumb. He is going to, you hear this little chicken shout out, Can't a Lich just enjoy his 200th birthday in peace? As he fires a firebolt at you, Ob. Firebolt!
Miss.
That's gonna be his turn.
Wait, real quick. How did he see me through the Shield Guardian?
He's tiny. He sees through its legs.
Oh. Oh, shenanigans. Okay.
This Shield
It's a
Guardian...
chicken lich, what do you expect?
It's true. Don't question the chicken lich. Just let the music take control. This... Let's see. This Shield Guardian is going to burst through the door. And he's actually going to take some swings at his fellow Shield Guardian. Under the command of the Chicken Lich. So, 1, 2. The first one connects. The other one does not. 18. Gale, you're up.
Alright, I'm assuming it's a bonus action to command the golem.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Alright, so... he's going to... First of all, she's gonna climb up the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. My movement should be higher than what it's saying it is. Because being a monk, level 5, so it should be at least 40, I believe.
Are you wearing armor or anything?
Shouldn't be.
Or a shield?
Nope. She's a monk, so... yeah. Anyway, so she's gonna climb up onto the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
That's how many feet of it?
To get to the ceiling, since they're 15 feet high, it's 15 feet to get to the ceiling.
Okay, so 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. She's gonna be on the ceiling, and as she's passing by, she's gonna tell her golem to, as a bonus action, fight that one.
Alright. I'll roll some attacks for it. Oh, yep.
Oh!
Yeah.
22?
Yeah, it just wails into this Shield Guardian, the one under command by the Chicken Lich.
And from her vantage on the ceiling, she's gonna rain down some radiance.
The 20 hits, the 11 misses.
And that'll be my turn.
Alright, let me just double check to make sure it doesn't do additional damage. No, it doesn't. Okay. Signy, you're up.
So if I go 5, 10, or 10, 20 here, would I be able to see this thing right here?
Probably not, because you have 2 large guardians in your direction. I'm also going to put a blue dot on the one that is friendly.
And these 2 guardians are just duking it out right now.
So unfortunately, no, you would not be able to see the Lich.
So I wouldn't be able to do Moonbeam.
I think Moonbeam's just a straight line, so you just wouldn't be able to see the Lich. I mean, you'd be able to hit him if the line is that long.
No, Moonbeam is
an
an AoE.
Moonbeam. Yeah. Moonbeam is just creatures in 40 foot.
No, 120 feet. 5 feet.
Yeah, it's a 5-foot radius. So it's a 10-foot circle.
Cylinder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10-foot circle that you drop on any place you want. And then it has to make
Okay.
a save.
Alright. I'm gonna do that then. Make me a con save of 13.
Okay. I love this music. Con save.
Mm-hmm.
12.
Oh,
Alright. You take
3 damage.
yeah. Hold on. A shapeshifter makes a saving throw with disadvantage. Is it a Lich, a shapeshifter?
No.
Okay. 60 feet. Okay. Alright. And I'll end my turn there.
Ah, but you have 2 large guardians duking it out.
once I got to turn this music down, I could barely hear you guys. Like, I literally had it just blaring.
That's amazing.
Okay. Alright, well, I know I can get through this one, but I really can't get through that one normally. So, Ob is gonna flap his big old ears
Hey.
and fly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And do I not have advantage on this thing?
You will.
Alright, well, I'm going to make a couple whacks at it.
Go for it. Misses. Hits.
For 14 bludgeoning magical with 4 lightning. I should have
Nice.
clarified that in case that mattered.
It does not.
Okay. And as a bonus action, I am going to hex it.
Okay.
Cast hex on it.
What are you giving it disadvantage on?
I will give it disadvantage on strength.
Alrighty. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Duden.
Should have done that earlier, but that's okay.
All right, I'm gonna fly over everyone, and then into this corner here,
Okay.
and at the chicken batty. I would like to. Shit, where is it? I will also cast Moonbeam,
Okay.
but I am going to shoot my shot here and cast it at 4th level.
Okay. So a con save. He got a 17.
Motherfucker.
Half?
Yeah, that's half.
Alright. And is that all?
And I will. Yeah, and then I will end my turn there.
Well, he's starting his turn there, so I think he takes the damage again.
Yeah, it's a repeat save, I think.
Is it repeat
Yeah,
save?
repeat.
Yes, it is.
Alright,
It's a repeat
so
save.
the one from Signy, 11, the one from Duden, 19.
So do I have to re-roll the damage again, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know clerics could get Moonbeam. Maybe it's just Twilight.
And if he
It's
if he
Twilight.
does
If he... What? Duden, roll your Moonbeam damage.
Sorry, I thought I clicked on it. There we go.
Oh, Jesus!
At level.
Please.
What? Alright.
Dang.
So, and he,
Level
he succeeded
Yes.
on that one.
So he takes half, thankfully.
Yeah. Should be 7 or 8.
All right.
Near max roll, holy smokes.
No, that's not what I meant. All right. It is his turn. I mean, he's gonna move back 1. And he's gonna see the two of you on that ceiling there. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna see. So he's gonna see Gale and Ob, as you see.
Ob landed.
Oh, Ob landed.
Yeah, because I landed to attack this guy.
Oh, okay. Well then,
So.
Now he's gonna still do it. So he's just gonna fire it at Ob, in this straight line. As you see this, you see sparks start flying off his feathers. As I believe it's gonna hit both Shield Guardians, Ob, and Signy in a 100-foot line as he casts a 3rd level lightning bolt.
Ooh. Just for fair warning here, I have disadvantage on this because of my strength mutagen, so
Oh, okay.
wouldn't have mattered anyway.
So I need a dex save from Signy, and then the 2 Shield Guardians, which I will make. 19.
Nice.
What is the Chicken Lich's save? Let me double check.
3.
It is, as it loads, and I jam out to this music. Oh yeah, okay, you succeed, so you take half. And then the Shield Guardians are gonna take full. So 8d6. And Signy takes half of this.
Okay.
Down to 1 hit point.
You take
So
half.
you take half.
28.
14.
Okay, hold on. I gotta figure out the math now.
With that, it's going to be the enemy Shield Guardian's turn, who's going to continue attacking Gale's. With 2 big fists. Miss and a miss. Gale.
Gale's gonna have her golem do the same.
Alrighty. Boom and boom. That 23 hits. Alright. And that's your bonus action.
And then she's going to move along the ceiling. And she's going to rain down some more radiant sunbolts.
That hits. And that also hits. Alright. Is that all?
That's it.
Signy.
Alright, since I can do this, bonus action, I'm gonna move my moonbeam onto him again.
Okay.
Since it's concentration.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also going to do this.
That
Cast
hits,
bolt.
yes.
Okay, and let me figure out. So, what? Trying to figure out what.
I think it's the 5 determines the damage type.
Okay, so it says it determines the damage. I'm not seeing.
So the number on the left is the D8. The 9, so it was a 5 and a 4.
Is 5 plus 4 is the 2d8. And then the 3d6 is the 5 plus 5 plus 6.
Yeah, so you get to pick between 5 and 4 for the damage type.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? Since he did, I'm gonna do 5, which is lightning damage.
Okay.
And then I also needed to make me a con save,
Yes,
please.
sir. 20.
Okay, but you still take half, so. Let me re-roll it. I can find it. Cause it's. There we go. Found it. There we go. So, half of 13 would be 6.
Alright.
Unless you round up. I don't know.
do.
Oh, okay, so it'd be 7?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god. All the lights in my room are like going out for some reason.
Is that your turn?
You've entered the game.
Yes.
Your reality is now glitching itself.
Yes. Yeah.
Alright. Ob, you just got lightning bolted, sir.
Well, that upset me greatly, and I know I just hexed this guy, but screw that, so... is this thing dead?
Yes, it is melted and crumbled on the ground.
Alright. 5, I'll take that AOO.
Alright. And interestingly enough, compared to where you guys are currently fighting the Chicken Lich, you see the visages of the incorporeal figures fighting the Chicken Lich down here.
Oh.
Fist attack.
Misses. 10, 15, 20, 25, because if I see him there, I'm guessing he might try to run down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna make two swings against him.
Okay.
And I'm going to go on ahead and hit him with a form of dread.
Ooh, alright.
So I get that plus 2 as temporary HP, since he was so rude and took off other HP. 1 second here.
Patiently awaiting. The one.
Sorry about that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my attacks here.
That hits.
For 18.
Yes.
And I need him to make me a wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
Okay.
Does Moonbeam give him any sort of like disadvantage to saving throws?
I don't think so.
5.
Alright, he's afraid of me.
Indeed.
Until the end of my next turn. And so I'm gonna hit him again if I can. No, I won't.
No, you won't.
That's okay. I still scared him.
Yes, you did.
He's scared.
Yep. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Alright. Let me give him... Yeah, okay. Well, Duden, you're up.
All right, so everyone, if you you get to refresh your temporary HP, so it would be 2 plus 7, so 9.
Ooh.
So we are
so
just
you get
people in the room.
temporary HP, yeah.
Okay.
And then I will. I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt on the chicken.
Okay.
Ooh.
At level. We'll just do level 1 for. No. Fuck it. Level 2. Fuck.
That unfortunately misses.
Serves me right. Alright.
Is
At
that
least it
your turn?
wasn't level 3.
Yeah, that'll end my turn. Yeah.
All right, now both of you roll your moonbeam damages, please.
Okay.
Was it con? Yeah.
Yeah, it's con.
Ouch. Ooh.
So you guys see, with the power of your combined moonbeams, you see Zeke, the chicken lich, begin glitching out and rising into the air, and you see he shouts out, "I won't stay long, I won't stay gone forever, I'll come back and kill you all!" And with a sudden burst of this interdimensional rift-like energy, with a simple pop, he's gone. And the shield guardian that you guys are fighting shuts down as you have defeated the chicken lich.
Huzzah!
You could have just called it popcorn chicken.
Mm.
You're welcome.
Did he drop anything when he poofed?
He did. You see, as he falls and poofs away, you see a golden egg, similar to the one Gale picked up. However, this one has runes etched all through it and is fully intact.
Ob would pick it up and try to read the runes.
You do so. Give me an arcana with advantage, kind sir.
A natural 20.
Oh boy. Let me tell you what they read, because you, sir, if you wish it,
Ooh.
you have yourself... Oh, hold on. You have the Time Lost Phylactery.
Oh. Well, you know Ob's current backstory, so Ob would definitely take this.
Well then.
And
Oh.
you see in this room, there seems to be a stone sarcophagus.
Oh, is that the north or south?
South. Ob would go in to inspect it.
Alright. Give me
As with Gale.
an investigation.
Here, I'll help. Or at least try.
Alright, so you enter this room, you see the visions, the incorporeal figures investigating the sarcophagus and picking items out of it. And you see them grabbing treasure from it and different items, and inside of it, you find 5,500 gold pieces,
Oof.
500 platinum pieces,
Oof.
5 gems worth 200 gold each. You find a set of +1 chainmail, a +2 wand of the war mage, and a battle axe. And Duden, as you investigate that room, you find a clump of feathers and what looks to be nesting, as this was where Zeke the Chicken Lich laid his head to rest. And as you enter this room, you see breaking through a portal, a rift in the wall, a single arrow fires out and launches itself at you
I cast shield.
for a 16 to hit.
Misses.
It strikes you and it just glitches away and poofs away.
Fuck. Fair enough. Alright, then I'll head back to where everyone else is.
Alright.
Well, seeing the other items, Ob would not really be interested in any of them.
I can't use a battle axe, I can't use armor, and I'm not a spellcaster, so those 3 items are useless to me.
A lot of gold
So,
and
yeah.
platinum, though,
So say, yeah, a lot of gold and platinum.
that you all can split up.
So you said, alright, here, I'm gonna start trying to do math here. How much was the gold?
Hold on. Let me get to it.
You said like 5,500 gold?
Yeah, I think I said 5,500 gold, 500 platinum, and 5 gems worth 200 gold. And then the +2 wand of the war mage, the +1 chainmail, and a battle axe.
Can anyone use the chainmail?
Druids can't.
Druids can use any armor they want.
Well, I thought they have a thing against metal.
They do, but like there's no rules as written that prevents you from doing it. Like
Yeah,
it
you
says that they don't, but like there's nothing that
stops
prevents
you.
you. You can play it as that you can't, but there's nothing in the actual rules that say you can't.
Hmm. What's the difference between that and scale mail? Because I have dragon scale mail. Well, it's rewritten as dragon scale mail, but it's just scale mail.
Well, what's your armor class right now?
17.
What's your strength?
10.
You couldn't even wear the chainmail. Or you could, but you'd have disadvantage on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Duden, it seems like
Perks of being
scale
a
mail is yours if you'd like it.
I will take it.
Alright, +1 chainmail. Actually, because I kind of already turned it into another item, just I'm retconning that the battle axe was ever there, so it's just the armor and the wand.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Yeah. What you said it was a +2 wand to the war mage?
+2 wand of the war mage.
So there's 2 warlocks, 2 druids. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, just 1 druid.
Okay, 1 druid, a cleric, and a sorcerer. No,
No,
4
because he left.
sorcerer.
I'm a monk rogue.
Monk rogue.
Blood
So
hunter.
between
Yeah, so it's really between like
the 3 of us.
you and Duden if either of you guys want it, because I don't really spellcast.
I don't think it would benefit me. Let me look it up.
It's any caster.
Yeah, it's any caster. Or
I mean, if nobody
It's
takes
like
it,
the war-
I mean, if nobody
What?
takes it, Gil could always pick up some spellcasting.
It is. It gives you +2 bonus to spell attack rolls, and you also ignore cover when making a spell attack.
Let's see. Whoops. No, that's the feat. Item.
Well, so far everyone's gotten an item except Signy, so if you want the War Mage.
I actually
I
haven't gotten any.
do.
Well, I
Oh.
technically got the false phylactery.
Yeah, you got the False Phylactery.
And the Guardian
Yeah.
necklace.
And the
yeah,
amulet.
there's that too, I suppose.
I mean, if you want to trade the necklace for the,
Guardian.
if you want, or does the Guardian come with us?
You'll find out.
No, that's true.
That's a hell of an item.
I can just imagine like just the guardian like just busting out of the cave like with like its shoulders and like protruding out and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the War Mage wand would be okay.
All right.
I mean,
If you want it, definitely take it. I mean, I could use it, but I really don't need it.
well, yeah. I mean, because I would say I usually wild shape. I usually don't use spells, but in this game, I just used more spells than usual.
I'll decide now.
I'll take it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So as you all take your item and you take your gold, gonna swap music.
We'll have to figure out how much we each get too.
I just sent it in chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
You
There's
Thank you for doing it.
there's one extra gem, so I figured we could just sell that, and then it's an extra 40 GP each. So
As you all take your items and your gold, you feel the rift shimmer and shake as it consumes you, and you all just move back to the Guildhall map. You all find yourselves suddenly jolted awake, sweating profusely as if you had a nightmare, a horrible, horrible nightmare. And as Gale and Duden, as you look around in the guild hall, standing next to Gale is indeed a partially destroyed stone shield guardian.
Huh.
I'll look up.
Neat.
Duden will look up at his plate and see that his tankard's empty. Oh shit! Like it was real. Oh god! And he'll look at the chicken sword and like you'll hear, if someone wants to make a perception check, you'll hear like a little, like he's like, what the fuck? It was fucking real.
And I have a very important question of Signy. As you find yourselves in the graveyard, do you attune to the War Mage?
I do.
Okay. As you attune to the wand in the graveyard, you suddenly find yourself with a different view. As you find yourself as a chicken instead of Signy.
Okay. Alright. So how long does that last?
It's permanent.
Oh.
So do we see
Wonderful.
this? We see this chicken?
No, Signy's back at the graveyard. That's where he woke up. Only you and Gale woke up. You, because I didn't get anyone with it last time, you, have attuned to a cursed wand of the War Mage.
so your character is now a chicken.
Your strength score is 2, and you can't carry or wear anything, and you need greater restoration to turn back. However, you also can't speak. You're a chicken.
Great. So that means all my equipment is useless.
And as you are polymorphed into this chicken at the graveyard, as you all have awoken from this real nightmare. You have defeated the visions of the Chicken Lich, one being cursed to walk the streets as a chicken themselves. That is where we will end the game.
I'm
Now-
assuming I can get this golem repaired, right?
If you find someone with mending or go to a blacksmith, yes. And with that, everyone say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, you.
Hi, YouTube.
And as always, good pie and stay sweet, people. Peace.